So here's some frequently asked questions. My business is marijuana dispensary that I operate in compliance with my state laws. The federal government considers this an illegal activity. Do I have the same income and employment tax filing obligations as any other business? And the short answer, yes. If I can't fully pay the amount I owe, are payment plans available that I can afford? I don't know. It depends what you make. That's what we help people do. But the short answer is yes. There are payment plans. What penalties or additions to tax could a participant in the marijuana industry be subject to if adjustments are made during an income tax? The same as everybody else. Will penalties under Section 662 be proposed if an audit ends with the IRS proposing adjustments for a participant in the marijuana industry? Penalties will be considered on a case, but like everybody else. See, it's the same answer. It's like everybody else. I operate a business that consists of selling marijuana. Can I claim deductions that determine my taxable income? We already talked about that. The answer is no. What do I need to do for cash payments over $10,000? File the 8300 form, as I've just mentioned. So that's the short of it. Okay, so that's the short of it. In the end, marijuana business is like, for the IRS, is like every other business. Except for it's cash intensive. And so what does the IRS think about cash intensive businesses? They think you're cheating, right? So they're going to come down on you. That's much more than they do. I shouldn't say much more than they do, but they're coming down on you because they believe you're cheating, because you're cash intensive. They don't know what you make. Remember, that's why they're trying to get these bank records for everybody. Of course, that wouldn't help with the cannabis industry. You can't have a bank. So that wouldn't help with them. So they don't know where the money comes from. They don't know how to track it. And they want to track every dollar, dime that comes through so they can tax it. And again, when you're a cash intensive business, they automatically believe you're cheating. And, whether you are or not. And so when you get audited, it's going to be very intensive, right? And they're going to come after you. But they go after everybody that way. So again, it's like every other business. And especially cash intensive businesses have a unique place because it's harder for them to audit you because they don't know what came in and what came out because it's all cash. There's no record. There's no transactions. So I want to talk about one more. Let's talk about one more. This bill, I looked it up right before I came in. U.S. House Judiciary Committee advances bill to end cannabis prohibition. So this has happened before. It's come out of the committee before and not gone anywhere. A bill to end federal criminalization of cannabis has once again passed out of the House Judiciary Committee, clearing a key hurdle. After more than 3 hours of debate on Thursday, which at times strayed far from cannabis, the Marijuana Opportunity and Reinvestment Expungement Act of 2021, also known as MORE Act. I love the way they put that together. This long overdue and historic legislation would reverse failed federal policies. I'm not going to just Nadler goes on and on about this. And the tax on cannabis products, either produced by the U.S. or imported, would support these spending provisions. Of course, I applaud the Democrats for doing something which is actually popular with the majority of the public, Massey said. The amendment was rejected as were a handful of other amendments brought forth by Republicans. Only 2 Republicans voted in favor of the bill, McClintock and Matt Gaetz. The MORE Act passes out of the House again. Okay, it still faces a lot of hurdles. We'll keep you updated on the progress of that bill and what happens, because it is big. But the real consequences are the tax consequences, right? And that it'll make it easier for these cannabis businesses to comply with the IRS, and we'll see how that goes. So I hope you learned something here today. I always try to teach people something. I think that's what this is all about: information, tax information. I don't know if anybody else, who else is sharing you everyday tax information. I don't know of anybody else. So I am. I want you to join us in spreading this information around. I appreciate that. Remember, if you're fighting the IRS, you should get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. Go to freeirsbook.com. Again, freeirsbook.com. Get your free copy of my book. I want to ask you to help us, like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe on YouTube, write something in the comments and I'll respond. So thanks so much for joining us here today. I hope that again, this is an interesting subject, and we'll continue covering it whenever the situation arises.